All right. A mother holds out a match. The child bats it away. 3 years old. Too young to remember.
All right, I think we're gonna get started, everybody. It's Easy Paradise time. It's time for the Easy Paradise cruise to take off. We're gonna be here all day till 6 p.m. We have some amazing readers here. We got books for sale. I've got my perfect bound books if anybody wants to buy those. And we've got amazing readers. We have Ashley Escobar. We have Monique Erickson. We have Natalie Gilda coming up, everybody. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm just going to start things off by reading a short piece. This is called Saint Anger Snare, which is from the Metallica album, Saint Anger. When it comes to clout, I work pro bono. Even within the room, there's factionalism. 96 Dead Street, Lucid Daylight, meaning behind, lobbed up, Easton Aluminum on keg, shot turning around in the driveway. He ain't here, you'll have to stop back later. The only difference that I see, 10 years ago today we were in 8 masks. Dr. Zayas attending MonsterCon, driving across the country by myself like a jackrabbit through the dark hills of Texas. This close to Marfa, but I skipped it. That's why it's for free. Our outlaw and stimulus, we give it away. Weekend our dividend, crushing prices, surmising surprise. Doing unto others works both ways. Packs of dine hits, tax-free AccuBumps, open metric spots. Throwing hands at the ulterior money. A lot of hours, immense and dried up. Had to dip. Pseudo-phono porno. Pseudo-phono porno, hard to grab, Voorhees snacks, sitting outside in the cold. Galvin wasn't there, introducing my dog to your dog, Grazie Mille, built with their bare hands, mainly upkeep milieu, dodged entourage on Ludlow. I keep around Bumblebee Tuna when I need that extra oomph. Gigs come falling in Los Angeles, making its way to town. Seasonal migration patterns, getting the word out. Should I do shrooms for my comedy? I want to do a good job. My act is I don't have one. iPhones further up the block over Popperhead Skull through this West Village medium well career mode loss leader on this day's half winter. Meretricious, precautious truck rumbling down Broadway 1 a.m. No one was there. 3 crazy white guys named Matt yelling. Mocking my pratfalls, an unearned mic drop, and dual cherub banister wigs of teepee. People already think I'm crazy. Why not give them a reason? Canker sore driving me nuts, ruminate mad joy, boofing Harold, making all local stops, red shaker tablecloth. Can I have this notarized? Can I have this notarized? Ripping globally, one place to your house, running cables up the stairs through the window, condos on their own, do shrooms. How much did you pay for it? All right. I just had to kick it off. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Easy Paradise. I'm super excited about this first poet. She has a magazine coming out that is really going to be amazing. It's full of great, great poetry. She is a great poet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited she can make it out to Governor's Island today. Give it up for Monique Erickson. Monique Erickson, everybody.
Hi you guys, it's so nice to be here. I'm Monique Erickson. You can find me on Instagram at myfairmomo. As Matt said, I am launching a magazine called Lonesome, and we're gonna start there. Lonesome came to me in January, an impulse, a necessity, a need, a birthday gift from the other side, the underside, the underneath. We are a gathering point, a fulcrum, a hand that feeds. What a poet will tell you, what the old friend sees. We are wildflowers on the highway getting lost among the weeds. What magic have we mustered from what brought us to our knees? So yeah, Lonesome is something that you're interested in. My husband has a sign-up sheet, so get to it. 90s, NYC. We learned to smoke cigarettes with Tim behind the wall that separates Central Park from Fifth Avenue during recess, our freshman year of high school. We learned to jump the wall slick and to scowl when he called one of us pretty instead of blushing. Blushing was for losers. After the first few times, we learned how to smoke cool, suppressing the need to cough, holding the cigarette just right, hand relaxed, natural, so Tim wouldn't sneer.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
We French kissed in the back of movie theaters, in the bathrooms of Upper West Side apartments, on stoops in the East Village. We bummed around town in fancy clothes and eyeliner, picked quarters off of businessmen, called our parents collect, and yelled at old ladies in fur coats. We persuaded cab drivers to take us home for free. We fell in love with poems and rock stars. We did bong hits and read Shakespeare stoned. We guzzled wine, shot tequila, puked in toilets all over Manhattan Island. I could trace the story even now. This was before death and going all the way, before we knew enough about politics to be scared, before we knew enough about boys to be scared. Before overdoses and alcohol poisoning, the closest we came to outright rebellion was smoking pot in the girls' bathroom before fourth period English class. After Chloe's anorexic stint and her brief heroin addiction, on the night of my 15th birthday, she almost died, and I fell into what I thought was love. Thank you. Winter 21. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning in February, and the alcohol boil. We're all blowing away. Sorry, guys. There's a wind.
I don't know if it's exciting after Christmas in January.
Winter 21. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning in February, and the alcohol boils still in my stomach as I sit in this bed and stare at my hands, at the delta of cracks in my ceiling, at the clock radio which flashes persistently the time. I wish I understood you. I wish my hands could make their peace with the length of you, though I am guarded when I speak to you and prone to look away. Each conversation with you loud over the noise of the bar. You carry heavy in your sentences the plea that I ask nothing of you. And while I do not want to take from you, I wonder what cold people you have known, that they could hold you and feel nothing, open to you and feel nothing. Coiled in my bed now at 7 this morning, my heart beats steadily beneath my palm despite the fever, the hangover, and the dull wounds from the night before. Each time I see you, I catch in my throat the muddy words, I will not speak to you, unclean as they are. And these days my life brings this language to its knees, brings this numbed body to its breaking point, face first in the shower, swallowing hard into the water, so that mornings like the last one, poised before the subway with you, sleepless and broke and sweating under my cardigan, stinging from the salt of you, so that peeing and sitting in a chair will be painful. And you murmur, see you round, and I think I might be sick, turn swiftly into the station, down the stairs, through the turnstile, to disappear with my armor and my shredded dignity intact. Mornings like these and my body aches under the effort of all it takes to pry myself open, as one would a closed thing, an oyster shell, delving for that one perfect pearl. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I got one more. Trying to keep my pages together. Avalon. A beach in New Jersey, a Roxy Music album, a Toyota, a mythical island of Arthurian legend, our little soul come down to earth. For all the hours it took to cross the bridge of worlds and reel her in, a kite, a rainbow fish of stars, my sun, her twinkling light bright against the universal dark, she danced through time and space into the closed circle of my arms. Hello, again. In the months preceding her arrival, we affectionately called her Little Soul. Upon receiving my thank you note, my sister-in-law asks, is that a name I see? Saul? Is that what the kids do these days? Name little girls after old Jewish men?
There's a lesson here.
Raising a daughter is tricky business, but at least we're not in Texas or Alabama, Arkansas, the Dakota, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ohio, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi. Did I leave any of those motherfuckers out? Saul, the son, first daughter born to your family and generations. On holidays, she's a little jewel in a sea of men. I'd hoped for a boy who would love me fiercely and destroy my house. I feared the karmic weight of mothers and daughters, her ridicule, my acrimony. It's easy to say break the cycle, but nearly impossible to change. My fingernails dig deep into stone and come back bloody. Almost the minute we confirmed my pregnancy, your mother had a stroke. Ellen passed 10 days later, she and Avalon floating past each other soundless as ships at midnight, passing ancestral histories, genetic code, every secret spinning a golden thread, anchoring Avalon to this world, sending Ellen on to the next. The first time I entered Ellen's house on Farview Avenue, Paramus, New Jersey, she said, "The first one to have a daughter wins." Now the baby and I pass her portrait on the steps down to the basement, and Avalon, still young enough to hold universes in her palm, nods in recognition. "Your grandmother loves you," I say, as a tingling featherweight brush along my shoulder blades replies in kind. Out on the deck, Avalon plays at my feet. Her brother, the black cat, teaches her the joy of shredding paper towel. She is deep in concentration, her little tongue peeking from the corner of her mouth. The red cardinal, our frequent companion, keeps watch. There is a noise overhead, a hawk, or maybe the resident owl. Avalon looks up at me wearing your mother's face. We drive to Jersey in the rain. Just over the GWB, I begin reciting Ginsberg's Kaddish. There has been talk of keeping Avalon from the cemetery, an old Jewish custom you scoff at, but your aunt writing with us confirms that she, age 5, did not attend her own mother's cervix. Parked in the cemetery, I curl myself around my baby, bare-breasted in the passenger seat, casting a shield, chanting a mantra. Only those in agreement with this soul's highest and best may enter. What is motherhood if not madness? Stretched to the brink of what is possible, tracing the edges of the cosmos, drawing strength from our elders, learning as we go. Your mother, what's left of her now underground, had little patience for such things alive. Now she weaves the protection spell alongside me. Motherhood makes witches of us all. Thank you all so much. Matt, thank you so much.
Woo! Give it up one more time for Monique Erickson, everybody. That was so beautiful. I love that New York poem. And the Avalon, of course. About doing drugs in the 90s and partying with rock stars. Oh, I wish I was here. We'll just have to do it now. We're going to try to do it now. Give it up one more time and keep your eyes open for Lonesome magazine. It's going to be coming out soon, eventually. That's my favorite time frame.
Probably my birthday. The time for our birthday is January 30th, 2024.
Oh, sick. Okay. Fantastic. We'll have to do an Aquarius double launch birthday spectacular. Give it up one more time for Monique Erickson, everybody. All right, we have a couple more exciting readers. We are so stoked about our next reader. Really an incredible writer. We're so lucky to have her. She's a powerful, powerful performer, powerful writer, great person. We love this next artist. Give it up, give it up. Brilliant poet. Give it up for Natalie Gilda, everybody. Give it up for Natalie Gilda. Yep.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm gonna read a few poems from a collection of poetry I've been working on about my experience working as a stripper. I am in line at the bank, and it is one of those days at the bank where the waiting is palpable, where the line is long and everyone is clutching an envelope, staring at the ceiling, but I am carrying 8 pounds of money concealed in a pillowcase, and when it is my turn, it takes 45 minutes for the bank teller lady to run all the singles through the money counter. Her machine is nice, too, not like the ones in the club, which are shitty and stop when hair or confetti sticks in between the bills. I would have counted faster than her by hand. At the jewelry store, they weigh the money on a scale when I pay for my gold chain in all singles, but she has to run it through the machine, whirring and clicking and stopping after each 100 while she is sighing. I swear I can hear her call me a slut, even though she does not say it out loud. I can feel everyone behind me in line at this bank in Midtown wanting to stare at me, and not just because I have all this cash, but because they know how I got it. And my boyfriend is standing against the wall next to me like a bodyguard. I wonder if the bank teller lady is thinking about how she may be touching money that may have been in between my butt cheeks. A woman comes up to me and asks me to ask the teller something about exchanging dollars to pounds. I am relieved that's all it is. But later on, my boyfriend tells me that she just wanted to say something, anything, to the girl holding up the line at the bank. Once she goes back to her place in line, I can hear her telling someone else about her daughter, and I can hear her too, even though she does not say it out loud. Not my daughter. She doesn't know that though, she has no idea, and you know what? I hope one day she has a full circle moment, telling her husband, remember that girl at the bank 10 years ago? I remember thinking to myself, our little girl would never, and here we are, and I can't believe it, and I don't know where we went wrong, and I hope she does. I hope she does. I have to flip the pages. Okay, this one is called 60-minute mantras. A private room is 60 minutes, and if I didn't get a talker, it's that much longer. An hour might not seem like that much time, but he is so drunk he does not even realize that his hands keep trying or that he ordered the crystal. So I know at the end he will say yes to anything at all as long as I keep my cool. Make it through. So here's what I do. First, I question after question. Where are you from? Why did you move to this city? I react. I emote. He one-word answers, so I know it's time to get on with the show. There's still 45 minutes to go, so I slow. I coach myself through it. Here's how I do it. Tell myself, you've done more for less. Don't forget, you've handled drunker and meaner than this. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Just keep going. This is a meditative practice. The repetitive back and forth of my hips. He's enthralled and I'm just sitting backwards and staring at the wall, counting seconds, counting songs. Can you feel it? He asks. They ask that a lot. I crane, swivel my neck, make sure our eyes lock. I smile, my face a persistent convincer, and just to say, yeah. Even though it's news to me, the coarse fabric of his jeans giving me those tiny bumps on my ass that house mom says is the one thing that no girl here can avoid. She recommends a specific soap to help and says that she swears by it. I think about how I'm going to use that soap when I get home and shower. I think about how I'm going to tell my best friend about all of this even sooner. Bring mom whatever is left over from the champagne. But right now, I gotta maintain. Still 17 minutes, and I have to finish. I dance my way through it. Here's how I do it. I swivel, circle, grind, bounce, twirl. I eyelash flutter. I twinkle, flicker, sparkle, shimmer, I fly. I pussy in his face. I girl next door, but I'm not shy. I gyrate, pirouette. I grit and grate. I sharpen, I smooth. You can do it. You can do it. If she can do it, you can too. I sip champagne, I breathe it through. I leave my glass on the other side of the room. I rendezvous. I retrieve the glass. Ask if he wants another. I swallow seconds while I gulp champagne. When time is up, his eyes plead with me. Can you please, can you please, can you please? He is so drunk, he tries to pay with a hotel room key. I have to hold his hand and help him sign the check. I'll be honest with you now, since this is a poem and not the dressing room. I do, at this point, sometimes wonder if I am taking advantage. But we have been taken advantage of so many lifetimes. You think I was born knowing what to do? How to count? Still, I'm not tipping the scales, I'm reinforcing them. He is still getting what he wants. He is still viewing me almost as he pleases. This isn't actually what I think, it's just a thought. With 0 seconds on the clock. Thank you. I'm gonna do one more. Thank you guys. I'm gonna do one more short one. It's about someone I used to be with when I was dancing. It's called Coming Home. I love you, and you are looking at me like I am so dirty. And you tell me I smell like the strip club. Distinct. Hairspray and body spray and sweat and other people's sweat. You say you don't even want to fuck me on the days that I work, that you can feel the other men on me, and I already knew that. But hearing you say it out loud makes it so much worse. So I always go home to shower before coming back to yours after my shift. So it's a good thing we're neighbors. You are so accessible that way. If I am drunk, I won't even think about it unless you are begging me to come. So you can hate it out loud and in front of me and still have the woman you love sleeping next to you. I swore to never change. When the other girl in the dressing room says a man can never really love you and be okay with it, I laugh. But here I am, washing myself off for you. And you're telling me you can still smell it, you can still feel it, and so the shower was useless, but at least I am trying. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Easy Paradise, for having me.
Give it up for Natalie Gilda, everybody. Amazing. Powerful. We got to put a book out.
Yes.
We need a book.
Yes.
We definitely need a book. Give it up one more time for Natalie, everybody. We run an open mic every Monday at KGB Bar in Manhattan. Come check it out. Easy Paradise, 8 p.m. every Monday. We have one more reader left, and then we're going to have the Borough of Manhattan Community College Poets coming up next. So stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, our last reader is a great poet. She has a new zine coming out. Next Friday is the launch at Bob's Records someplace. Billy's Records in East Williamsburg. Great poet. I think we're going on the Weezer cruise, everybody. So get ready to go on a holiday to an island in the sun. Give it up for Ashley Escobar, everybody.
Nowhere to put their love. I hope when you walk in your door,
Hi.
you embrace the one-on-one, you will never
So these are my Pinkerton. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, it's lower than you want it to be.
Okay. So these are my Pinkerton diaries, I guess. How does one survive a summer here without going bell jar mode? The 3rd of July brought cherries, drank sake from a juice box on top of the McKibben lofts, moshing to Avril Lavigne, crashed KGB, too late, woke up and read Wolfman the Librarian in my poetry nook, found Philip by the Angel Fountain, snacked at the Snack Shack, took a yellow cab there, didn't see any dinosaurs. Matt had to curl up against my door because he heard fireworks across the street, missed the Richard Hell reading at White Columns, wrote a song about Sauvignon Blanc based on Eddie's postcard, instead forced into learning ukulele. Everything is just chords, chords, chords. All I get is a rotation of guitarists. My go-to stayed over for the week, but he was too tired to go out with us. The Indie Sleaze revival is actually happening in a basement, Park Slope. We discovered the power of Lime Rickies and never wanted to go back. Millennials surrounded us in their 2012 Peter Pan color dresses and cut-off shorts. Too much LCD sound system and not enough strokes. At least we had stars on our wrists.
Felt too much under the disco ball, but knew those feelings would fade in the morning. Learned to separate the business from the artist. Trust me, it helps. I'm not just a customer to him or a name on a flyer. Who wants to be called a polymath? That sounds mathematical. In real life, there is no algebra. I doubt even Rivers Cuomo would appreciate that. I thought I wouldn't know anybody at Elizabeth Street Garden, but someone I knew came up to me after the reading. The theme was memory, but everything I write is one. Listened to Claude Gaze at Billy's record salon. Ran into my camp counselor for real this time. He works at Stranded Records and some Jungian library in Midtown, and a girl from my high school. I knew everyone would compliment Aiden's pulp shirt. I broke my clogs on my penultimate day at Bennington. I was craving them. My mom psychically knew this and sent over a cute pair in the mail. The next day, we got caught in a rainstorm in front of 7th Street Burger and went back to sleep. I was cursed at KGB 3 weeks in a row. I only went to TVI to support Martyr. She wanted to reread her piece at KGB, but we played it cool, had the worst live Ricky in my life, and that wasn't even the one the bartender made before saying she made a terrible one. More people needed to party until sunrise. We picked up Aiden from KGB, but he fled before I read. Noah and I discussed poets who over-prefaced before they read. Like, just read the goddamn poem, whether or not you rode on the train here or not. We're always writing this long poem on the train. We are the train. I cried as I recited the ride monologue because a comedian degraded me as a crowdsourced joke. Why don't you stick to your planned set next time? Vowed we would not return, but then everything changed. Read in the bird courtyard again. Wasted off strong frozen margaritas. Learned to smile again. That sounds corny, but I swear it was the first time I smiled, and it felt great, so I went back upstate to clear my head. Cut toy carrots with Avalon in our tiny kitchen. Only the kids wanted to play on the pool floats with me. I'll splash you for using your phone in the pool the entire time. I learned Jane Birkin died during a game of backgammon. It's more complicated than checkers. We all deserve a Birkin to recuperate. Said goodbye to cats, smoking on my fire escape. Noah and I were cats. Nobody else wanted tuna in their pasta. Didn't expect Luke to open with needle in the hay, but there I was, bearing Pete's candy store to see him perform. It's not spamming. It's a long poem composed of various long and short lines alternating, interwoven from my screen to your palms. The comedians apparently bombarded the open mic, but we left after Matt and I publicly quarreled. I guess it was bound to happen after I read over a Jane Birkin, Serge Gainsbourg song. But there we were once again in Eddie's living room drinking Wave Crashers. I drank way too much red wine and suffered a migraine on the walk home. Matt and his checkers and our 9 months of meeting. He thought my letter was negative, but at least it had feeling. Hibernated over Lulu cookies and confetti cookies, all the cookies drizzling into our world. AIM, toothpaste, and hard kombucha make the perfect combination. Guess all that's left for me is to lounge around in silk underwear and read Proust. He didn't like when I wore cutoffs. I'll see you Monday. Motley Met field trip led to revelations. It's date night, but my date is busy screaming in his noise band in the back room of a bar in Park Slope. I'm System Lord's biggest fan. Cecily Brown, cherry lobster, pomegranate, oyster picnic, before I cried in Dimes Square over peach cocktails. Don't talk to me about the past, unless it concerns me. Even then, who cares? I'm in love in the present tense. I didn't jump off the Williamsburg Bridge, but couldn't stop crying until I woke up and decided to go to IKEA with Joycey. Had a decadent girl lunch of mac and cheese, peas, and a side of Swedish meatballs. Finally got curtains, but they don't black out. If Rivers Cuomo can play guitar, I can play guitar. Waltzed into KGB in a sheer black top, felt back in my place. I'm only reaching you in song lyrics. Thank you for your honesty. Read one of my favorite sets with Luke, met one of Matt's old coworkers who loves Radiohead. We earned a new character in the TV series of our lives. Catch it on public access television every Monday. Ended the night screaming, say it ain't so. Jumped into an Uber with a bunch of comedians at 3 a.m. tried not to look back until we had to return the next evening because Matt forgot his power cord. We found it downstairs and sat in a playground eating Indian takeout, too stormy to dare him, to dare me, to run through the fountain. We took the scenic route to West 4th and slept until Thursday, solely listening to Weezer and the Pinkerton Diaries. Why didn't Rivers set that to music? Only left the house to buy weed. He blamed his crankiness on dehydration. I forgave him after the umbrella incident. I won't mention that again. I'm ready to have a baby with you, but first I'll make you gluten-free vegan mac and cheese shells. I'm pre-gaming my birthday with my zine release, Weezer Marathon, Weezer Cruise. We brought it into fruition. I can't take anything seriously without making it a bit first. This all started when Joycey asked us what the weirdest music we played during sex was, and I could only think of the Blue album. Can't believe they let us trap everyone in the small back room of Otto's shrunken head and force them to listen to us yell Weezer lyrics. He's back to eating burgers with lettuce buns. It's my turn to faint from dehydration. I understand clipboards now. Anyone want to be my clipboard guy? I'm serious. Serious inquiries only. We have a party to throw. Let January meet August. Thank you.
Give it up for Ashley Escobar, everybody. The Pinkerton Diaries. Here we are. Could have used more Weezer, though. I think. Yeah, it had Avalon. Amazing. All right. If I get the chance later, I'm going to read a poem about going upstate because I wrote a poem. It's in my book. Get my book. We're done. That's Easy Paradise. Thank you for checking us out. Come to the Red Room every Monday, 8 p.m. Follow us at Easy Paradise Mag. And I have books for sale. We will have books this weekend. Come see us at our table. We got some exciting stuff coming up, though. Stay tuned. Our next block of readers, we got Dark Onus Lit coming up in a little bit. We have the great Vehicle Editions. Annabelle Lee just arrived, the great Annabelle Lee. Stay tuned for that. The next group we have is the Borough of Manhattan Community College Poets. The Borough of Manhattan Community College Writing Center Poets group consists of Igwe Williams, the director of the Writing Center, and a faculty member of the English department, Marcel Hidalgo, the coordinator of the Writing Center, Nicolette Barsamian, the supervisor, and Victoria Lau, a tutor for the Writing Center and an English adjunct lecturer at Queens College. Give it up for the Borough of Manhattan Community College Poets, everybody.
Cookies are such a treat. Oh, America, give us your money. Pay for our tea at the Grand Ole Opry. Our room service Sunday. Elevators. Hotel manager.